5 rounds in, it's been a lot.
Yeah.
How do you kind of look back on how the season's gone so far? Because there have been highs, lows, severe illnesses, bike setup issues.
Yeah.
There's been everything.
Yeah, it's been a crazy beginning of the season already. Podium was absolutely awesome. Had a really good race there. Track speed was a lot slower than the track speed's been the last few weekends. Obviously, it was wet there, so some issues didn't arise yet. So podium was awesome. Last week, obviously, wasn't myself, wasn't the comfort I was looking for. So we went back, did a lot of testing this week. I think we're in a better spot. A sickness early on. I mean, it's just been a weird beginning, but it seems like even last weekend was tough, but still like everything's coming around. We're working hard, and it's the long game, not the short game right now.
Have you managed to stay like level-headed through it all?
Yeah.
Like you've not let your emotions get the better of you at any point?
No, I've been pretty. I've been pretty calm, cool, collective. Obviously, you get a little bit jerky to the crew around you because you just want to be better, but they all, the whole crew wants to be better as well. So this week, like I said, Ollie came down to Florida. We tried a lot of parts, and I feel like we made a step in the right direction. Today and this weekend will tell that, but I love Phoenix. It's a lot of fun here. I've had a lot of good races last year. I think I was on the podium here, so looking forward to it.
Was there one specific part of the bike that you were trying to quote unquote fix?
It's been kind of a balance issue, it's kind of a little bit teeter-totter-ish. Hard on the gas, goes, front comes up, hard on the brakes, front goes down, rear comes up. So it's been one of those things. So balance for me is super important. Like in California, I felt like we had the balance, but the tracks when you go east are a lot rougher, a lot harder on the gas. So a little bit of balance and feel in the handlebars. So suspension and a little chassis stuff. So I think we'll be all right.
Last thing, this is a unique track. It's much faster than the rest of them. So is this going to be a good gauge of how the testing worked? Or are you going to kind of put this one to the side as a unique bag?
No. I think this is going to be really good. Looking at it right now, just kind of rad. The tracks we rode this week, I rode MTF, which kind of some similar stuff, dirt, bit similar. I was lucky enough to go out to Star and ride with the boys there and gauge my speed, with Cooper. So, I think all in all, this will be a good test for us to see where the bike's at and where I'm at, and hopefully we gel and life's good.
We are 5 rounds in now, and I feel like the riding has been much better than the results show. I would actually say the riding is better than the beginning of last year, but the results are worse somehow.
Yeah.
So how do you kind of take that?
Yeah, so the first few rounds have definitely been rough. Best finish is a 10th, which I was happy with that right at San Diego. But round 1 got cleaned out, round 2 mud race, round 3 top 10, or I don't know, another mud race, and then DNQ, then got cleaned out again. So it's been, I haven't really had just a race where I've consistently kind of knocked out my laps. There's always something, So, I just want to have a good weekend this weekend and put in my laps and just have a solid 20 minutes.
Seeing as the results have kind of been out of your control a little bit, does that make it easier to accept because you're like, oh, there's nothing I'm doing wrong? Or does it make it more frustrating because you're like, it doesn't matter how hard I try, this shit is happening?
Yeah, I mean, it's my last season. I'm not going to get too frustrated, but I'm definitely not out there just milking it. I want to do well. I want to be up there. And no one to blame on my results but myself. I put myself in some bad situations, which makes me, it puts me in bad situations. So, wait, I already said that, didn't I? Was that two bad situations?
I think you've been in bad situations.
I think you get the message. I'm putting myself in bad situations. So, just got to fight for it a little bit harder at the beginning, and I think we'll be good.
Obviously, this is your official last season. So how different is your mindset compared to last year when you were maybe more in it, I guess? Right. It's different when the end is actually in sight.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty in it this year too, though, just because I've spent a lot of effort and I haven't really stopped, no off season. I was racing in Australia, World Supercross, and then, so I felt good on the bike coming in, but just kind of have been putting it together too much. But I mean, I'm still enjoying it, and this is my last full season Supercross, and but it's not. I want to make it clear to the fans that I'm not fully retiring. Like, I still want to keep racing, different events and select events and stuff like that. But when it comes to being competitively in the Supercross series and the outdoors, like I'm done with that. You know what I mean? So, because I think it's important to still wake up with that drive and that, that purpose and that goal every morning. I love training. I love that aspect of it. I don't want to lose that, but you guys see how competitive this 450 class is, and I'm out there kind of riding with one leg, because my knee's so bashed up with, I've had probably 12 to 15 surgeries on my one knee. So I've done well, though. I'm happy with what I've accomplished and what I've done so far. And you just got to be grateful for, how it's went.
Yeah, based on what you said there, you've obviously already given thought to the purpose that you'll have after racing and maybe how that'll be hard. So an abbreviated schedule and races you want to do kind of gives it paves over the cracks a little bit.
Exactly, because I think fully retiring is a very, very scary thing, and it can be a little bit of a slippery slope. Fighters, soccer players, whatever. You can get depressed, you can start, whatever. It can go downhill real fast, and it's terrifying. This is all we've done my whole life. So I think if I can still race Australia Supercross and keep racing, select events, keep busy, and, obviously if I'm still, the money's still good and worth the time, then I think that's a good way to do it, to race at the complete highest level is tough for me now. I'm 32 and my knees are pretty beat up, so I'm just not at my best, and that's the thing that's hard. Is I feel like if I had some good knees, I could be a different rider out there. But either way, I've still had a great run and really enjoyed it, and I still want to keep racing and have fun, and that's kind of my plan.
Over the last 6 years or whatever, say the second half of your career, has there been this fear of retirement and what comes after that, or is it only just set in when you kind of made the decision of, right, I've got a timetable now?
Right. I haven't really had too much of a fear, to be honest. I mean, I study people a lot, right? And I always see people retiring completely and then they come back 2 or 3 years later. So that's why, I think, Justin Barcia, someone that I kind of look at that's kind of done it good. He quit motocross, a few years back, and then he just did Supercross only, and he went longer than I did, but his body's also a lot better in shape, intact than mine. But then he did Supercross for a while, and then and then just do those off-season races, and like I said, I just think it's good to wake up with that purpose and that drive to train and keep healthy and that healthy lifestyle, because I think when you completely quit, you don't know what to do with yourself, and you can start getting depressed, and I don't know, it can go bad. So that's why I just want to keep chipping away at racing and I have a fun schedule.
One more quick thing. This fun schedule, is there a chance that next year you would do one-off AMA Supercross rounds, or would it just be international only?
Yeah, potentially. I want to see I first need to get a contract for next year if we can work something out like that. I think that would be cool if I'm still, because I feel like I'm still riding pretty well. It's I'm not really I've already cracked the top 10 this year, and I feel like during the week in practice I'm pretty good. That guy doesn't seem to show up too much on Saturdays, but got to figure out a contract for next year on what I'm doing and go from there.
Last time we saw you at Anaheim too, I felt like it was a breakthrough ride for you. Even though the end result maybe didn't show it, the riding was definitely better. You could see you had more confidence. So I'm guessing now the switch has flipped and you are maybe expecting more?
Yeah, for sure. We started out the night decent with the 5th, and then 7th wasn't bad, and then obviously as the night went on, a few mishaps for sure, but the speed has obviously been better and better over the weeks. I think the biggest thing for me now is showing up every weekend and just getting the experience and normalizing being in the stadium with full of people. I think that's one thing I lack is just being in the stadium, feeling comfortable. But yeah, it's been an up and down season, but we're going to turn around this weekend.
That's surprising because a lot of people, or a lot of rookies, say that Futures prepares them for being in a stadium full of people, but not so much?
It for sure does. It's just not 6 full seasons like some dudes have. Smith and RJ, they have a lot of experience just being in here. Obviously, it's not so green when you do Futures and then come to the pros, but it does help a bit when you have a lot of seasons under your belt.
What's the biggest improvement that you feel you need to make? Is there one part of your program that kind of stands out as a bit of an issue?
Not really. I feel like we're pretty well-rounded right now. Starts have been a struggle, which usually they're not. So just running up front, like I don't think you can go from 8th to 3rd. Like this 250 class is pretty stacked right now. So I think starts, running up front, and top 5's their goal this weekend.
Last thing, have starts been a setup issue, and have you been working on that?
I think it's been more me, body position, and we have figured it out. So I'm excited to get my starts back and get back up front, because that's, I think, my strong suit. And once I'm up front, like I feel comfortable. It's just when I do get a bad start, I don't feel comfortable back there. So I think it's all starts, and figured something out this past week.
First things first, just catch us up on how the season's gone so far from your perspective. I feel like there's been speed, but not the results to kind of support the speed.
Yeah, no, it's been definitely a rough get-go to the season, but I mean, I feel good. I'm getting better every week. I feel good in training. It's just I got to put together some races. I had a pretty big spill last weekend in the second race. First race I was doing pretty good. Went off the track though, and it was I forgot what I got, but I had a little spill in that second one, so that ended my weekend pretty early. But I mean, we're good. We're feeling good. Just got to keep on plugging away.
How has the adjustment been to no longer being a factory rider? Has that been hard to get your head around?
No, I really just try to come in every day thinking every day is the same. Like I'm trying to get faster on my dirt bike. Just because I'm not on a factory team anymore doesn't mean I don't want to go out there and do good. So it gives me some more drive, and yeah.
Yeah, you must be hungry to prove that you deserve to be back on the factory team. Obviously, the situation for you last year was quite weird and unique.
Yeah.
So that must give you some hunger.
Yeah. I mean, I just got to keep working. I know what, honestly, it's more mental. Like I know I can do better. So I want to do that for myself.
Yeah, where roughly do you feel like you can slot in at the moment? Like around the top 10?
I want to be a top 10 guy.
Yeah.
That's been my goal. That was my goal last year, and I broke into the top 10 a few times. So I just want to be a consistent top 10 guy, which obviously the results don't show right now, but I know I can be there.
And last thing, obviously this is the last weekend before a break for you guys. So are you putting a lot of pressure on yourself to start the break on the right foot?
I just try to go one race at a time. This is just any other race. So obviously we have that break coming up, and I'm looking forward to working on some more stuff.